In 1884, on a jagged tooth of rock off the coast of Maine, lived a man named Elias. Elias was a lighthouse keeper. But Elias had a problem. For 3 months, a fog so thick it felt like wet wool had swallowed the coast. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face, let alone a ship. Day after day, Elias hauled oil up 82 winding stone steps. He polished the glass. He lit the wick. And he stood there, staring into a wall of gray nothingness. One night, his son asked him, "Father, why do we burn the oil? No ships have come in months. No one is out there. No one can see us. We are burning resources for a ghost." Elias looked at the boy and said, "We don't light the lamp because we see the ships. We light the lamp so that when the ships are lost, they have a reason to keep steering. We are all Elias. We are all living in a season of fog. You're working, you're sweating, you're praying, and you're looking out into the horizon, but you don't see any ships. You don't see the promotion. You don't see the soulmate. You don't see the healing. And eventually, you start to ask, why am I burning the oil?" The answer isn't a feeling. It isn't a vibe. The answer is a technology of the soul. It's a word we've used so much it has lost its teeth. That word is believe. Today, we are going to strip that word down to its bones. We are going to treat believe as an acronym, a 7-step protocol for anyone who is tired of staring into the fog. B, bravery. The first letter is B. And B stands for bravery. But not that superhero kind of bravery. We're talking about the bravery of that first cut. There was a young woman named Maya. Maya worked in data entry, but her soul lived in the grain of oak and cedar. She wanted to be a master woodworker. For 3 years, she bought the tools. She watched the tutorials. She had a beautiful, expensive block of cherry wood sitting in her garage. But she never touched it. Why? Because she was terrified of the first cut. She was scared that if she ruined the wood, she would prove to herself that her dream was a lie. As long as the wood stayed whole, the dream stayed possible. One Saturday, an old carpenter from down the street came by. He saw her staring at the wood. He didn't offer advice. He simply picked up her saw, made a jagged, messy, 3-inch gash right across the middle of the expensive cherry wood, and walked out. Maya gasped. The wood was ruined. But then, a strange thing happened. The fear vanished. The worst had happened. The wood wasn't perfect anymore. So, she picked up her tools and began to carve. That ruined block became the most beautiful sculpture of her career. Where in your life are you holding onto a perfect block of wood? Is it that business plan you haven't launched? That difficult conversation you haven't started? Bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's the realization that ruined is better than untouched. To believe, you must have the bravery to be messy. You must make the first cut. E, endurance. The second letter is E. It stands for endurance. In 1911, 2 teams raced to be the first to reach the South Pole. One was led by Roald Amundsen, the other by Robert Falcon Scott. Scott's philosophy was to push his men to the absolute limit on good weather days, sometimes marching 40 or 50 miles, and then huddling in their tents during storms. Amundsen had a different rule, the 20-mile march. No matter how good the weather was, they did 20 miles. No matter how bad the blizzard was, they found a way to do 20 miles. Amundsen's team reached the pole first and returned safely. Scott's team. They never made it back. Most of us try to live like Scott. We get a burst of motivation. We go to the gym for 4 hours on Monday. We write 10 chapters of our book on Tuesday. Then Wednesday hits, life gets stormy, and we stop. Belief is the endurance to do your 20 miles when you don't feel like it. It's the boring, unsexy consistency of showing up when the fog is thick. Endurance is the bridge between a dream and a reality. It's not about how fast you run, it's about how long you refuse to stop walking. L, liberation, the story of the elephant's rope. The third letter is L. It stands for liberation. A traveler was passing an elephant camp and spotted these massive creatures held by a tiny rope tied to their front leg. No chains, no cages. He asked the trainer why they didn't just break the rope. The trainer said, when they are very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them. At that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break it. They think the rope still holds them, so they never try to break free. What rope are you still believing in? Is it a comment a teacher made to you when you were 10? Is it a failure from a relationship 5 years ago? To believe in your future, you must seek liberation from your past. You are no longer that small elephant. You have the power to snap the constraints of your history, but first, you have to realize that the rope is only as strong as your memory of it. Liberation is the moment you stop asking for permission to be great. Intention. The fourth letter is I. It stands for intention. There is an ancient story of a Zen archer who could hit a bullseye in total darkness. When asked how, he didn't talk about his eyes. He talked about his inner aim. He said, I don't look at the target. I become the flight of the arrow. He wasn't wishing to hit the mark. He had the intention that the mark was already hit the moment the string left his fingers. How often do we move through our day by accident? We react to emails. We react to traffic. We react to our moods. Belief requires intention. It means deciding before you walk into that meeting how you are going to show up. It means deciding before you start your day what success looks like. If you don't have an intention, you are just an arrow floating in the wind, waiting for something to hit you. Take the bow. Set the aim. Evolution. The fifth letter, our second E, is evolution. How does a lobster grow? A lobster is a soft mushy animal that lives inside a rigid shell. That shell does not expand. As the lobster grows, that shell becomes very confining. The lobster feels under pressure and uncomfortable. It goes under a rock formation to protect itself from predators, casts off the shell, and produces a new one. Eventually, that shell also becomes very uncomfortable. It goes back under the rocks. And the lobster repeats this throughout its life. The stimulus for the lobster to grow is that it feels uncomfortable. If the lobster had a doctor, they'd give it an antidepressant or a painkiller, and the lobster would never grow. It would stay comfortable in its tiny shell. In your life, stress and discomfort are often the signals that it is time to evolve. To believe means to trust the pain. When you feel squeezed by your life, don't just pray for the pressure to go away. Use that pressure to shed your old shell. You aren't breaking down, you're breaking out. Vision. The sixth letter is V. It stands for vision. A traveler came across 3 stonemasons working in a quarry. He asked the first man, "What are you doing?" The man grumbled, "I'm cutting stone. It's backbreaking work and the pay is terrible." He asked the second man, "What are you doing?" The man replied, "I'm building a wall. It's a steady job, and it keeps my family fed." He asked the third man, the one who was whistling while he worked, "What are you doing?" The third man looked up, his eyes shining, and said, "I am building a cathedral that will touch the heavens." All 3 men were doing the exact same task. But only one had vision. Belief is the ability to see the cathedral while you are still cutting the stone. If you only see the task, the laundry, the spreadsheets, the studying, you will burn out. But if you see the vision, the legacy, the impact, the life you are building, then the work becomes worship. What are you building today? Is it just a wall? Or is it a cathedral? Execution. The final letter is E. It stands for execution. There was a famous clockmaker who was asked how he built the most accurate clock in the world. He didn't talk about the gold or the crystals. He said, "I focused on the inch." He explained that if a single gear is off by 1,000th of an inch, the clock might be right today, but in a year, it will be an hour off. He didn't try to build a great clock. He tried to make every single inch of the machine perfect in that moment. We often get paralyzed by the big picture. We want the whole career, the whole transformation, the whole new me. But belief is nothing without execution. And execution happens in the inches. It's the decision to drink water instead of soda. It's the decision to read 10 pages instead of scrolling for 10 minutes. You don't need a 10-year plan to believe in yourself. You just need a next 10 minutes plan. Win the inch. Then win the next one. Eventually, the inches turn into miles. Remember Elias? The lighthouse keeper? The ships did come. They came because the light was there. If Elias had waited to see the ships before he lit the lamp, they would have crashed against the rocks in the dark. Belief is lighting the lamp while it's still foggy. It is bravery to start, endurance to stay, liberation from the past, intention in the present, evolution through the pain, vision for the future, execution in the small things. You might be in the fog right now. You might feel like you're burning oil for ghosts. But I promise you, there are ships on the horizon that you cannot see yet. They are navigating by your light. They are counting on your belief. Don't let your lamp go out. If this message found you at the right time, do me a favor. Don't just like this video. Execute. Pick one letter from the Believe acronym that you need to work on this week. Is it bravery? Endurance? Liberation? Write that letter in the comments below and tell me 1 inch you are going to win today. Let's start a conversation in the comments, a community of people who are lighting their lamps together. Because the fog is temporary. But your light? That's eternal. Keep believing. We'll see you in the next one.